up, everyone? I'm coming on here for a couple of plays for today, and very exciting day today because we do have the first official day of the NFL season with this Hall of Fame game between the Cardinals and the Panthers. I do have a pick for that in today's video, and one thing that I will say about these preseason games is preseason can actually be a pretty sneaky moneymaker, right? I know the preseason is kind of boring, not that many people watch it, it is what it is, but the thing about the preseason, especially with these player props, guys, is unders. Unders are the key, man, because people are constantly coming out of the games, especially with these offenses. They look really poor a lot of times at the beginning, and the defenses, and this is going to be the same thing at the start of an NFL and college football season, is the defenses rule for the first 3 to 4 weeks. And then as the season progresses, these offenses really start picking up. So you're going to see me take a lot of unders, especially in the preseason. I'll probably take 90% of my picks in football to be unders. And then as we get into week 1, week 2, week 3 of the actual season, it's going to be also a lot of unders. And then as we ramp up through the year, we start getting into week 7, 8, that kind of stuff. That's when you're going to see me take more overs. And I'm still going to obviously take some unders as well. But the offenses normally ramp up through the year and they normally get better and better. Whereas the defenses, they're normally pretty solid at the beginning of the year where the offenses can't really beat them because they just don't have that much creativity and that much, installed yet, okay? So that's what I've seen over the past 3 years that I've been doing it, especially in the preseason. I love the unders. And of course, in today's video, I do have a player prop for today, and it's going to be an under as we're going to get into, okay? The rest of the day, yesterday, it wasn't a great day, I'll be honest, right? You guys know I'm always transparent. I'm always honest. I show you guys every win and loss here on this channel. And I do this for every single day, right? I've done this 1,000 days straight pretty much. And you'll see that this guy does miss by 0.5 passes. So this was definitely the closest one here. If this guy does hit this, probably would have been a nice 4x or something like this, and maybe we would have had a slightly profitable day or whatever. But again, guys, as I always echo in all my videos, not to beat a dead horse, guys, one day means nothing to me, right? If you even look at yesterday, we went up 20 units yesterday, right? We had an 8.5x, an 8.5x, and a 2x that was right here on this channel. So, I mean, every day is going to be different, right? I don't care, even though we hit 20 units yesterday, I don't care about it. I don't care about today. Maybe we went down 3 units. Who cares? I don't care about these day-to-day fluctuations. It doesn't really affect me. Am I excited when something hits? Yes. Am I a little bit disappointed when something misses by 0.5? Yeah, sure. But again, I am more thinking on the level of a long-term thinker. I'm thinking month to month. I'm even thinking, like I've already said in this video, I'm thinking already about week 1 through 4 of the season and how I'm going to play these props, and then week 7 and beyond and how I'm going to play these props, right? I'm thinking long-term, and I'm going to try to make profit long-term, which is exactly what we've been able to do over the past 2.5 years. We're up about 1,200 units over the past 2.5 years, right? I know that sounds very far-fetched because I don't know who else on YouTube over the course of their channel is up 1,200 units and can actually profitably and accurately track all of this. But I have all these videos explaining this every day. Yesterday, we reached all-time highs, which was 236 units on the year so far, which is absolutely amazing. That is $2,300 for a $10 better. So you'd be up $2,300 if you tailed all my PrizePicks entries for the season or for 2026 so far, which is absolutely incredible. As you guys will see, the record, we've won a little over 300 times, and we've lost over 1,100 times, okay? We lose a lot on the VIP because I play a lot of 3 and 4 mans, okay? So 3 and 4 mans are not going to hit often, but when they do, they're going to pay out quite a lot, as you guys saw yesterday if you are in the VIP there, okay? So, I went over a lot of this over this past week, guys. Again, not really much to write home about yesterday. We did have some misses. We do have a setup right here going on. I will say I kind of tuned into this game a little bit before I was making the video. It's not looking too good right now, okay? So this probably has a pretty low % chance of hitting just based on how the game is going. Or probably what we're going to see is the unders hitting, okay? So both of these, I believe they're girls playing this game here, but both of these girls probably going to go under because they they're losing this game, the second game, really, really badly, and it's going to be a very short game. So again, as I always explain, and I even rewatched the video, I think it was from July 27th, and it was when we were in this little bit of a slump right here, right? I've gone over the past 30 days a lot. First 17 days of July, we're absolutely killing it, and then we had a little bit of a slump, and now we're back, right? And again, this is how the VIP is going to fluctuate, guys. We're going to have ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. If you ever think that I'm going to come on here and say that every day we're going to win, or I'm going to guarantee that every day we're going to go up, I mean, I don't know. That has to be fake or something because I've never said that in my life. We're going to have a lot of ups and downs, right? We're going to have a lot of I don't know what the right word is, but we're just going to have a lot of trials and tribulations, and you got to get through these ups and downs, all right? Again, I told you guys this throughout the whole upturn. I told you guys through the whole downturn, and then when we bounced back up to all-time highs, I told you guys this the entire time too. But what I was going to say is I made a video, it was like July 27th, and I make a video every day, so obviously I made a video, but it was like pretty much at this point right here. It was like right before we bounced back. And what I talked about is all I care about is correlation, right? I already told you guys I don't care about the day-to-day stuff, all this stuff. All I care about is if things hit together in a correlated manner. That is our number one strategy here, right? And if you don't know what that means, I try to explain it every day, but really what it means is, for example, look at these two entries right here. They both missed, but if we look at the soccer entry, right, this was yesterday's free pick. I took San Luis players to go under versus Inter Miami, okay? And you guys will see both of these guys go over their lines. Why did they go over their lines? Well, I'm sure you can guess why they went over their lines, right? If you look at the game and how it was played out, Inter Miami, they win. They're the better team. They have Messi. They have Rodrigo de Paul, a lot of great players. But Inter Miami only had 44% possession. And the other team, San Luis, who we took unders on, they had 56% possession. So they had way more possession than what I intended. And again, just as I said that we're not going to profit every day, I'm not going to be right about everything, right? I was wrong about this entry. But the main point that I want to make is, yes, we took the unders and the overs hit. And sometimes we're going to take the overs and the unders are going to hit, right? This is correlation, right? So when they have a lot of possession, when a team has over 50% possession, so to speak, or 55, 56% possession, they're likely to go over. When a team has low percent possession, a lower amount of possession, they're likely to go under, okay? So let's look at this other pick right here with Abby Smith and with Kaylin Kurtz right here. They're on Denver FC. I took them over, and they end up going under together. Well, guess why they went under together? Because they didn't have that much possession. They only had 45% possession. So because they had 45% possession, both of these girls go under together, okay? I can also tell you that most players on San Luis, I would say like 80-90% of these players on San Luis probably went over. And then 80-90% of the players on Denver probably went under. Why? Because soccer is a team game. If you don't have the ball, you're not going to pass very much. If you have the ball a lot, then everyone's going to be incorporated and everyone's going to be passing a lot, okay? This is correlation. Last thing to get into is right here in the setup that we actually do have for tonight's game for these two guys right here. But this is League of Legends correlation, another great esport and sport to use correlation on, okay? And the thing about this, I want to erase this because this is not a hit, so I don't want to come across as I'm lying. But right here, these two guys do not get many kills. And if you watch these videos, you guys will understand that League of Legends, all that matters instead of possession for soccer, for League of Legends, it is do you win the game or do you lose the game? If you're going to win the game, you're likely to go over. If you're going to lose the game, you're likely to go under. So you guys can probably see here that these guys went way under their line. So what do you think happened? Well, they probably lost because they went under. And again, if we look at this game right here, you can see it was DK versus T1. DK gets O2'd. They lose both games. The first game was 4-20, so they got completely destroyed. Everyone on this team, one kill, one kill. One kill, one kill. Everyone on this team got completely destroyed. They lost the game, so they went under together. Just as I said in soccer, if you have a lot of possession, everyone's going to pass a lot. If you have a low amount of possession, everyone's going to not have many passes. It's the same thing in League of Legends. If you lose, no one's going to get very many kills. If you win, everyone's going to get a lot of kills, okay? So it's very based on winning and losing. If you go to the second map, it was 7-17. So in total, this team got like 11 kills in 2 games. Everyone went under. Saiwu gets 4 kills in this game, so he actually outperformed his whole team, but he still went under his line as well. I believe his line was 5.5, if I remember that correctly. But again, everyone on this team goes under. Why? The simple reason, because they lost their game, okay? It's as simple as it gets. Just like in soccer, it's very simple, high possession, high amount of kills, all right? So before I get into the first pick, I do want to say I've been getting so many of you guys signed up for NOVIG, and that's absolutely amazing stuff here. You can use code DETECTIVE. This is actually not true. It's not a $5 purchase anymore. What it is now, which I actually like more, is you deposit $10 into NOVIG, and if you deposit $10 with my code DETECTIVE, obviously right here, then you'll get a free $25, okay? So you deposit 10, you get a free 25er in your account, so you'll actually start your account with $35, which is nice to see there, okay? So again, all you have to do to get 2 months free of the VIP is to deposit $10 in in NOVIG with code detective, and this is NOVIG is now available nationwide, okay? And again, I've had a lot of people in California in the past try to sign up for NOVIG. It was not available in California even a couple days ago. Now it is. Same thing with Arizona. You know, a lot of these states, some of these more regulated states that don't have all the apps, or maybe they went through some things at the beginning of the year, NOVIG is now available 50 out of 50 states, all right? So definitely get NOVIG. It is literally $10 to join 2 months free of the VIP. All you have to do is sign up for NOVIG with my code here. I've got so many people signed up for the past couple of days. It is so easy. I can't tell you guys enough. Like, this takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes of your time. You download an app, you type in a word detective, and then you can I think there's like 10 ways to deposit on this app. Like, you can use Venmo, you can use PayPal, you can use your bank, obviously. Just deposit $10, send me a screenshot to this number. You can also text me to this number right here, which is my personal number. Text me NOVIG, and I'll give you guys these instructions. But again, it really cannot get simpler than just putting in the word detective, depositing $10, and again, you'll get 2 months of the VIP. I always get this question, so I just want to clear this up. 2 months of the VIP is going to be coming from me, so you need to text me a screenshot proof of the $10 in your account, and then I'll give you a code to my Winnable that will give you guys 2 free months of the VIP. So that's 1. And then 2, when I give you 2 free months, it's going to show up as 30 days. But how it works is it gives you the first 30 days free, and then it's going to renew you another 30 days free, okay? So I know it's going to send you an email that's going to be like, you just got 30 days free. But what it is it's 30 days free, and then it renews another 30 days. And that's just how Winnable works. So, you know, I can't really do anything about that, but you will get 60 days free, okay? KALSHI is another app that I'm pushing a lot right now. 2 months of the VIP, code detective there. That's another $10 deposit. And I believe with KALSHI, you get like up to $500, but it's kind of like a lottery system. So you might get like $15, you might get like $100, you might get $500. So, I mean, that's just worth it in itself. You can put in $10 and you could potentially get $500 on KALSHI. But again, the most important part is you get 2 free months of the VIP. And literally over the past 30 days on my VIP, we've gone up 77 units, okay? So that would be $770 that you would go up in the last 30 days on my VIP if you're just a $10 bettor. If you're a $5 bettor, it'd be like $400 or whatever, okay? So that is absolutely incredible stuff. So is a $10 deposit on an app worth it to you? You know, you tell me, right? So go ahead and do that, guys. A lot of different apps you guys can sign up with, including Underdog and BETR and Sleeper and stuff like that as well. BETR entry of the day, we do have a discount. There's really not much to say about these BETR discounts other than we have a discounted play. Today it's Caitlin Clark. Like, it's normally going to be one of the best players in the league. You know, the other day it was Tarek Skubal. He doesn't hit his line, but again, you can't argue that he's not one of the best pitchers. And then we have Caitlin Clark to go over tonight. Obviously, very, very good player, and she's discounted down by 4. So we're going to take her over. You know, it's a discount at the end of the day. There's really nothing to say. 1, it's Caitlin Clark, so she's very good. And then 2, she's discounted down by 4 points assists, exactly what her role is on this team. So we're going to take her over, and then we're going to take Axel right here. This is in Counter-Strike 2. This is happening tomorrow morning, and we're going to take him over 14.5 headshots in CS2. Again, these BETR entries, it's like, I feel like I should talk about them more, but there's just really not that much to say. I'm taking a discount, which is obvious, and then I'm taking a player in esports a lot of times, whether that be Counter-Strike or League of Legends or Valorant or whatever it is, to go over or under, right, that I like and I've researched throughout the day. So you can also sign up for BETR, guys. They have discounts like this every day. They have about 2 to 3 discounts a day. BETR kind of been up and down. We had a really good day the past couple of days, or like maybe like 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, and then we've kind of had some rocky times, right? Yesterday's discount did miss, unfortunately, and then the discount yesterday that I sent out to the VIP does hit, but then we took Marble under 12.5, and he also misses by 0.5, right? So a couple of 0.5 misses yesterday, guys. That's sports betting for you, right? We're going to have some tough losses. It is what it is, right? You got to be ready to lose by 0.5 sometimes and swallow a bit of a tough defeat there. All right, so let's get into the final pick of the day here. We do have an NFL preseason pick right here. It's so nice to say that. It's been honestly a pretty quick offseason, right? It kind of feels like the Super Bowl was, I remember it just, a couple months ago or whatever. But it's been a really good offseason. Obviously, I think it was because of the World Cup. The World Cup was just so amazing, and that was like a month and a half of just, complete mayhem, and we did so amazing on the World Cup. So that really shortened up the offseason for us. And NFL, college football is back pretty much, right? First pick of the NFL season is going to be Haynes King to go under passing yards, all right, guys? If you don't know Haynes King, he is kind of a super journeyman quarterback, so to speak, in college, but he was very good, right? Georgia Tech and A&M and stuff, but he runs a lot. Okay, so the thing that I like about the preseason, one, I'm going to take a lot of unders because players get taken out of games, okay? Players get taken out of games. It's the preseason, especially the Hall of Fame game. They're kind of treating this like a practice, okay? So offenses try different things out. They try different players out. Haynes King, I bet he'll only play for about a half, I would say. And with Haynes King, he is a running quarterback, okay? He's not necessarily like a run-first quarterback, but I definitely think versus an NFL defense, he's going to rely on his legs a lot. So a couple of times, like he literally has the same line as Carson Beck right now. I think Carson Beck's line is like 102. Haynes King is at 94.5, but Haynes King can run circles around Carson Beck. So I think Haynes King is probably going to run for 30 to 40 yards tonight because for the simple reason that he's going to rely on his legs a lot, right? When he sees NFL defenses, NFL players for the first time, it is very different than playing in college, okay? I don't care if you play in the Big Ten, the SEC. When you play a full NFL offense with full NFL defensive coordinators, it's a very different game, okay? So he might throw a pick, and he's going to rely on his legs a lot. A lot of times when players have good running ability, they kind of like cocoon back up to that and they kind of cocoon back up to that, having that as their second nature, and they'll tuck the ball and run quite a lot. So I expect Haynes King, when there's throwing opportunities in front of him, to instead of throwing and instead of standing in the pocket and finding that composure is hard to find. That might take you a year to find that composure, to be able to stand in there and deliver strikes like an NFL quarterback. I think he's going to tuck the ball and run. That might even lead to more sacks too, because again, a lot of these college quarterbacks, they might have been the best athlete on their college team, but they're not the best athlete anymore. So a lot of times these running first quarterbacks, they're going to start running. They're going to realize that everyone's like 4.4 speed, and then they're going to get sacked, and that's obviously going to take away Haynes King's possessions in his passing yardage, okay? So that's going to be the first pick of the day. Before I get in the second pick, I do want to say the NFL season pass is available right now for $150. So very simply put, is all of my plays up until Super Bowl 61. So you get like 7 months of betting, comes out to $20 a month. And if you want access to this, guys, it's going to be the first link in the description. My number is pretty much everywhere on the screen. So if you do have a question, you can go ahead and text me, guys. Yeah, go ahead and lock this in, guys. I will say you'll probably pay this off by mid-September, right? And again, if it's mid-September or maybe even earlier than that and it's paid off, then, I'm going to tell you guys about it, right? I don't want you guys to miss out on this. The past 2 years I've done this, people have 30 to 40x this investment. So it's an amazing investment. This is a super, super low price to get 7 months of my VIP. And I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that you're not going to make multiples and multiples more than this, right? I just showed you guys over 30 days. If you're a $10 better, you'd make $770. Like, think about that for a second. A $10 better. That's not even like a high number, a high bankroll or anything like that, right? So $150 for a whole season is absolutely insane, okay? So that'll be the first link in the description. Second pick here is going to be soccer. This is actually happening tomorrow night. I really like this pick, so I wanted to do a little bit of early value here. We're taking the two players on the San Diego Wave in soccer, and again, as I mentioned, this is very correlated together, right? So we have Dali right here is her name, and then we have Kennedy Wesley right here. So they play very similar positions on the field. So again, if they're going to pass a lot, they're going to be passing to each other. If they do not pass a lot, so they don't have the ball very much, then they're not going to be passing to each other. Now they are facing Gotham FC, and what is interesting about Gotham FC is this team is actually the number one team in the women's MLS, okay? So the number one team in the women's MLS, San Diego Wave, I'll be honest, is also a pretty good team, but Gotham, they are just a different level, and a lot of times, even against lesser teams, like way lesser teams, these girls are still going under their line. So I think against the number one team, they're the number one team and the number one possession team. They're going to not have very much possession. They're not going to have very many passes, and having like 60 passes, right? Both their lines are 57.5, so having 58 passes is a lot against Gotham. That's going to mean you're going to need the ball more than half the game, which is just, it's going to be almost impossible versus a team like Gotham, I think. So very, very good play. If Haynes King does not hit, I'm going to retake this on the VIP, okay? So just know that. If you're not on the VIP, look to retake these girls if Haynes King does go ahead and go over. I think the only way that Haynes King goes over, by the way, is if he plays like 3 quarters, okay? If he plays 3 quarters, it's going to be a little bit sad because it's like, yeah, he's just going to have a lot of time to be able to do this. But again, if my theory is right, where he runs a lot and he takes some sacks and stuff, and their offense can't really get going to the level that an NFL offense needs to be going at, then I think he is going to go under here. Again, I really like the unders for these games, especially some of these first preseason games, because these offenses sometimes look absolutely brutal. It is very rare for an offense to come out, especially with the second or third string of guys, and look really good. It's just almost impossible for that to happen, okay? So go ahead and take these guys and girls to go under. This is very correlated. Like I said, sign up for this NFL and college football season pass. Again, it's all my plays up until the Super Bowl. So if I send an MLB play, you'll get it. If I send out a soccer play, you'll get it. If I send out an NFL play, you'll obviously get it. Thank you guys so much for all the kind words, support, everything like that. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.